I was thinking about, I did a bunch of videos called, What Makes a Woman? Hardly any woman got involved, just like you ladies. So I thought I'd do what it takes to be a man. And I think it's kind of funny though. I was talking with a friend of mine. We were writing back and forth about there's three kinds of people, and I think that there's three levels of man. And I kind of base it off how well someone could pay attention, because I think men are goal-oriented. I think men are so goal-oriented that they tend to let, if it's not within their goal sphere, it's just not important. That like something might be important later, but if it's not a part of their goal, it's not important now. So there's like a purposeful disregard for certain things. But mostly it's just this focus and this attention paying, and this striving to understand. And I think that a lot of men think of themselves as superheroes in a way. An average person that could rise above in extraordinary circumstances. And a lot of times when someone does something amazing and they ask him, how does it feel to be a hero? And he says something like, I'm no hero, I just did what anyone would have done. And I think that that's right for about 1/3 of every man I know, all the men I know. The other third, like the 2/3, like 1/3 of every man I've ever met does not have it in him because he does not allow himself to have it in him. Like, I know men that just handicap themselves because they're so concerned with making mistakes or seeming this way to other people. Like, other people's opinion is way too important for these men. It's just ridiculous. And so, like, they're never going to learn to ride a unicycle, ever, no matter how much focus they've got on it, because they don't want to take instruction, they don't want to pay attention, they don't want to look the fool, and they're so frustrated with all these people who could ride the unicycle, and they don't realize that those men wanted to ride the unicycle. Everything else that fell outside their goal, like looking like a fool or any kind of and it wasn't envy that other people could do it. It was like, I'm going to be able to do that. I can't wait. Yeah, so there's like the bottom third of men that just they're like small men. They don't have a lot of potential, I think, because they limit themselves absolutely, because they're just too damn afraid. They hold on to this image of themselves. They've got that superhero image, but they're not superheroes because they're never going to risk anything out of fear. Well, they're also the kind of men that if they get the feeling that someone thinks they're afraid, they're going to start a fight in a bar. They're not thinking things out. They're more like beasts. Like the third up from that, though, are just like men that have a whole lot of potential, but maybe have had some setbacks, which may have made them a little bit trigger shy. So they limit themselves just because they're like, I'm just not interested in, having another one of my businesses crash, or I'm not interested in, losing any more money or any more time, or any more of the headaches, that kind of thing. And I read a book about great people in history, really successful people in history, and it was the book was a timeline of all their failures. They're like these really successful people that failed constantly until they won. They finally had a breakthrough. They finally got a break, or they just were so practiced at what they were doing. Like, you're swinging a bat at a ball. You're gonna miss it so many times until you hit it, and then suddenly you're hitting it more and more and more until then you hit it out of the park. Some people think, I suck at this, I can't hit the ball. Some men do, and that puts them in the the lower half of the middle third. But then, like I said, like the upper third of men, all they can think about is like, man, I can't wait to hit that ball out of the park. I know what's going to happen eventually. Actually, that's why a lot of people fake confidence, because they're trying to wear the clothes of the upper third. These men that are like, oh, eventually, I'm going to knock it out of the park. So there's people that try to talk that talk, and the thing is, it seems to me when I hear someone talking the talk, and I don't believe it, is just something about it feels empty or practiced. Or what I'm hearing is more along the lines of like, I'm interested in how you respond when I tell you I'm going to knock it out of the park. And the people who are really going to knock it out of the park someday, they're barely paying attention to you. They're envisioning knocking it out of the freaking park. You see it in their eyes, you see the joy in their face, rather than kind of like a ferret-like suspicion that you might not believe them, which puts them in the bottom third of men. Though on a side note, that's all I have to say about it. On a side note, I think that's why a lot of men are disgusting. They really don't care. They're like, whatever their disgusting habit is, it's like, yeah, but it's not going to interfere from me getting my goal. And if they're right, then they're right. And they're just going to be disgusting. Alright. Real men talk, real man talk.